It's my last day here and I got my iced latte. I'm heading to the cutest. I think it's just like another museum, and I made my day super packed so I could follow this route where I could enter a bunch of attractions that typically cost money, but since I have the Copenhagen card, I want to like make use of it and just go into as many places as possible. Weather's not as nice today. It's a little bit overcast and pretty chilly, but since we're going to be mostly indoors, I think it'll be fine. I'm gonna have to catch the plane. It's at 8:40 p.m. tonight, so I have quite a bit of time. It's around 10 a.m. right now, and I'm just gonna enjoy like the city and the views before I go back to France. I have class tomorrow. I did also want to mention that I loved my hostel. Like, I loved my hostel because there was a private washroom. I thought it was like a 10-person room, but it was only 6, and the people in it were really nice, and also a very convenient location, like close to the train and walkable to like a lot of attractions too. After fueling up with a pastry and some coffee, I made my way to one of the many museums on my list that day. This one had an amazing collection of sculptures from Mediterranean cultures, which was truly brought to life by the entryway equipped with huge foliage and water fountains. As I walked through more of the museum, I was pleasantly surprised by the small but mighty collection of French Impressionist paintings and a huge selection of works by Rodin. I had seen photos and read about the historically controversial Little Dancer sculpture before, so turning a corner and seeing it in real life was not something I expected in a Danish museum. This was one of 25 versions of the original, with a unique interpretation of what her tutu might have looked like when it was first exhibited in Paris almost 150 years ago. Across the street was the National Museum of Denmark, which had a well-rounded collection of work on topics surrounding history, culture, and heritages around the world. So I basically speed ran through 2 museums, and now I'm at the Christiansborg Palace, which we went to yesterday to go up to the lookout, which is free, but now I want to go inside. I just went into the royal kitchen, which is also part of the building. I want to see the palace itself because it looks very grandiose online. So yeah, my eyes need to witness. So I just had the cutest interaction. I was sitting down at this bench to eat my banh and there's like a pond with a bunch of birds, so I sat, and then someone came to me and they're like, can I share the bench with you? And I was like, yeah, like of course. And then we just watched the birds for a little bit, and then I was like, maybe I'll talk to this person and get to know them. So I was like, do you know why the birds are doing that with their wings? Because like one of the birds here likes to flap its wings a lot. It doesn't seem like there's an intention. We were debating like it could have been like a mating call, or maybe they're like drying their wings off. I could sound so stupid right now, but you know, I don't know what this bird is, so that's why we were hypothesizing. We started talking about just like life in general. It was really cool to meet this person. They're from Norway. We had like a really cute conversation. I learned about life in Norway. We just talked about like just like social injustices in Norway, and I was like, oh, it's quite similar to Canada, where like they kind of try to fake that everything's okay when in reality it's not. There's like healthcare cutbacks in terms of the funding that they're getting. Healthcare workers are not being appreciated, which is very similar to Canada as well. I don't know, I thought it was just really cool to meet somebody random, just sitting on a park bench. I got some good recommendations in Paris because like they've been to Paris before. I'm gonna head to the greenhouse now. Also the banh was really good, but I'm gonna head to the greenhouse. I think it closes in like 20 minutes, so I'm definitely gonna try to get in there before I'm not allowed. My flight seems to be delayed like an hour, so I do have some extra time.
It's only a dream. Nothing is really what it seems anyway. Now little by little, in the twilight's gentle flow, in the dance of fading light we grow.
Stabbed my leg on a cactus because I was moving out of the way for someone.
You get fooled by anyone so easily. I'm lost. You say you're tired, so am I. But without you, I'm lost.
My last stop of the day was unsurprisingly another art museum. This one had a mix of both classical and contemporary art, the latter of which I love looking at and reading about in the exhibitions of different cities. It's interesting to see what the key messages of contemporary art are in various cultures, since art has evolved over generations to become much louder and unapologetic, often conveying political and societal messages along with the visual components. Some key themes that came up in the works I saw revolved around women's rights, memory, climate change, and death. And of course, there was a huge collection of classical French, Nordic, and Danish art to enjoy as well. And I'm finally home. I had to take a Bolt home because the trains basically stopped working and my flight was super delayed. I think I only got in Paris around 12:05 a.m. So I had no choice. and the Bolt was very pricey, but I'm glad to be in my room, not having to deal with the hassle of like commuting back. My solo trip to Copenhagen is over, and I would rate it a 10 out of 10, honestly. It was such a spontaneous decision, but I think I really made use of the trip, if that makes sense. I really got to reflect a lot and spend a lot of time with myself and my thoughts, which was really nice. Since it was a solo trip, I could basically just do whatever I wanted to do and pick my own schedule. But on top of that, also making friends, doing things with them as well. So yeah, overall, a very well-rounded trip. There was a lot of walking, a lot of good food and new foods that I haven't tried before, a good amount of coffee and Joe and the Juice, some thrifting, a lot of art museums and history museums, and sightseeing. Since I was by myself, I was able to kind of take my time and really appreciate what I was seeing and capturing what I wanted to capture on my phone. Very happy overall. Now I have to go to bed as quickly as possible so that I can get up for my class tomorrow. It's like 2 p.m. and we're doing like a little mini Paris tour or something. I don't think my friends are going to be in class. I think they're all skipping tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.